In today's video, I'm going to break down the Bitcoin chart and give you my overall analysis on the crypto market and where I think we're heading in the short term and in the long term. But before we get started, I just want to give a quick shout out to the channel sponsor, MEXC. If you get started with them today, you can actually get up to $1,200 in future bonus giveaways, as well as $30 in USDT if you do get started. Just scan the link below. But with that being said, let's break down the charts. Now, I want to start off with Bitcoin because Bitcoin is the market mover. And a lot of people have been extremely fearful in the markets. We've seen a correction from the highs of about a 20% drop, and we're currently about 14 to 15% down. And a lot of people are calling for the top of a bull market and are getting very bearish. But I'm going to tell you why I'm not bearish at the moment and why I still think this bull market has a lot left to go. Because if we actually zoom out, when we look at the overall trend of Bitcoin, we can see that we're actually retesting the 50-week moving average. And if we look through history, every time we've come down to this blue line here, it's actually been a great buying opportunity, and we've kept this level as support. So for me, the 50-week moving average is going to be a very key level of support. And this is actually one of the signals for me, whether we're in a bull market or not. If we start to close some candles below the 50-week moving average on the weekly time frame, and we cannot hold that as support, then this is when I'll flip bearish and expect that the bull market is over and we are now in a bear market. But as long as we're holding above this blue line here, we're still bullish and we're still in a bull market, in my opinion. And when you're trading and investing, it's important to have a plan, and we're sticking to what the charts are showing us. And as long as we're holding above this level, we are still in a bull market, in my opinion. And as well, we can see that we're actually coming up to a very key level of support. Every time we've come down to this trend line, we've got a significant bounce. And as long as we're holding this trend line, I'm going to expect that to continue. I'm going to expect a significant bounce and for Bitcoin to put in higher highs and higher lows, because we're still in an uptrend. We have not yet broken into bearish market structure. And bearish market structure for me would be if we were to take out this lower low here. If we would actually lose that level and put in a lower low, then that would then set us up to put in a lower high and continue that downtrend. But as long as we're holding these key levels of support, I'm going to expect Bitcoin and the overall crypto market cap to continue to go higher. Now, a lot of people have been looking at the time frame of a 4-year cycle, and typically around October is when the 4-year cycle should be ending. But as you get new information, you need to be able to reassess that information. And one thing that a lot of people in the crypto community have always believed is that Bitcoin has followed a 4-year halving cycle. Well, what's also happened is the macro business cycle has also occurred during the same time frame as the Bitcoin cycles. And this has typically lasted 4 years, but we're actually seeing an extended macroeconomic cycle. And this is where the market goes through periods of expansion and contraction. And with the new data that's coming in, I actually believe that it's more probable that Bitcoin's actually just following the global liquidity and these business cycles instead of the 4-year cycle being the main driver of the price. So with that being said, with interest rate cuts coming and all of these macro events that are coming towards the end of this year and early 2026, I'm going to expect Bitcoin and crypto to go much higher. Now, when we even zoom in on Bitcoin, we can see that we're still just holding support. Like, we're holding the previous highs from back here in December of 2024. And really all we've had has been a breakout of these highs and a retest. And we're holding that level. And this should set us in for a significant bounce to be able to put in higher highs. And when we zoom in a bit on some of our shorter time frames and we have a look at the daily chart, we can see that our momentum wave is extremely oversold at the moment, and this is looking like it's going to curve to the upside very soon. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to happen today or tomorrow, but I do believe we are going to get a significant bounce from this level. Now, another very important chart to take a look at is going to be the total market cap chart of crypto, because we've been pretty much trading inside of this ascending wedge here, just bouncing from the highs to the low. I'm expecting us to make our way back up to the highs of this wedge, which would actually put crypto at around a $10 to $12 billion market cap. And in our recent correction, all we've done is we've really just come down, just to retest the bottom of a trend line. And as I've said before, you never want to get bearish at key levels of support like this. It's at these key levels that you want to be a buyer when you're down at these levels. And when we eventually get that big run up to the highs, this is when you want to become a seller. This is when you want to become bearish on the market. But right now, retail sentiment is at all-time lows. Everyone is bearish. Everyone is tired of waiting, and people are just exhausted. But this is the time where true wealth is created. It's for people who are buying in peak fear. When you're at the lows of these ranges here, these are the people that make millions of dollars when we eventually get that big breakout into the top of the range. Like we've seen gold absolutely break out in a big way. And it was the people who were accumulating here when the markets were boring, and here who are now massively in profit now that we do have that breakout in gold. I'm expecting silver to continue to break out as well. And if you look at the market cycles, typically gold always leads Bitcoin. Gold always breaks out first, and then typically Bitcoin will follow after. And that's exactly what I'm expecting to happen. And when we go to a chart like the Bitcoin dominance, this really tells the story for our altcoins, because we got a breakdown of our trend line, which if you've been following this trend for a while, you would know that we called the breakdown of Bitcoin dominance perfectly. And all that's happened is we've now put in a higher high. We've come up to this level of resistance, and this is now setting us up to put in that next lower low in the Bitcoin dominance. And you know that as this chart goes down, this is when your altcoins are outperforming Bitcoin, when your altcoins do 10, 20, 30x moves on these big drops down. So for me, all of these charts are kind of telling us the same story. Nothing's changed. We can even go to the total free chart. And when we zoom out on the total free, we can just see that all we're doing is just trading within this ascending triangle. And we're literally at the point where it's about to break out to the upside. And it's on this breakout that your altcoins are going to absolutely explode, that we're going to get that drop in the Bitcoin dominance and see that alt season that everyone's been waiting for. The only difference about this cycle is it's taken a bit longer than previous cycles. And that's because the macro business cycle has taken longer. But with interest rates coming, all of the charts are screaming to me that we're about to absolutely explode. So this is not the time to be fearful. It's not the time to be selling your crypto, because if you sell your crypto now, you're probably going to regret it for the rest of your life, because this is one of the biggest opportunities you have to create life-changing wealth. And I'm expecting to make millions of dollars this cycle, but for me, nothing has changed. My thesis still remains the same. I expect that we're going higher in Bitcoin. I expect that the total crypto market cap is going to go higher, and that it's going to be led by a lot of these altcoins breaking out. And this is when we're going to get that true altcoin season, as we get that big drop in the Bitcoin dominance. And this is where millionaires are going to be made. You just need to keep holding on for a little bit longer. I know you're tired. I know this cycle has been exhausting, but the reward at the end of it is going to be worth it. You just need to continue to hold on and have faith, because every single chart is screaming to me that we're on the verge of one of the biggest breakouts, and that we're going to see another 2020, 2021 type cycle where people are going to be made millionaires overnight. But you need to just hold on a bit longer and be patient. Now, if you're someone that wants to learn how to trade or how to invest, send me an email and we can book in a coaching call. And if you'd like to purchase my top 10 crypto picks and know what coins I'm invested in and the coins that I think are going to make you the most money this cycle, you can purchase my top 10 list. Just click in the link below. And don't forget to grab my free beginner's guide to crypto and investing. It's completely free to download. You just need to enter your email and you can get access to that one. But besides that, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.
Bitcoin, please go to moon. Stop going sideways now. Don't ever say we going down to 1K, but Mr. Novogratz say we have bottomed out, Novogratz is bullish. Bottomed out, don't ever rise is bearish.
Bearish falls to 13 times though.
Novogratz is bullish.
Bitcoin could be at 40,000.
Let us go to moon.